This is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin with breaking news as Fargo City leaders are right now deciding the future of the Africa International Restaurant and Nightclub. The full commission is meeting and is debating a motion to revoke the liquor license of the embattled business or to allow the bar's owners to try and sell the Class A license that has been under suspension for months.
I want to be able to do it and show you guys that I can do it. Please don't take our lesson away from us. I suffer too much to put money into that lesson. Please don't do that.
The bar's license was suspended last May after a shooting death in the business's parking lot. No one's been arrested for that shooting. Police also say the club has had several reports of fighting and underage drinking. There's been more moisture in some parts of the valley than others today. Too bad the rain didn't fall much earlier, but we'll take it anyway. Let's find out from Hutch how long it's going to continue to fall this evening. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Mike. Good evening, everyone. We still have showers as you head out for that drive time. A view from the Luther Family Ford view in south parts of Fargo right now. We are seeing quieter conditions with some clearing taking place in the Devil's Lake Basin, while the rain continues in Fargo, Lakes Country, and points south. Thunder and lightning taking place in eastern Minnesota. Here is a closer look. So our southern valley counties and lakes counties can expect showers, moderate at times, to continue through the drive time. Temperatures are rebounding a bit in the central part of the state, but other than that, we're all in the 50s heading into the evening. Clearing skies, decreasing rain chances as we get beyond, say, the 9 o'clock hour from west to east. Clearing overnight, and it looks mighty cool. Coming up in just a minute, we'll have a look at when the rain stops in your hour-by-hour forecast, and we'll talk about what we're watching for the rest of your work week here in just a minute.
All right, look forward to that. Thanks, Hutch. High school students in the Northern Valley are mourning the loss of a fellow student who police say was found dead early this morning. Valley News Live's JC Dodd breaks down where it happened and what investigators have discovered so far as they continue to search for answers.
Instead of celebrating the first day of homecoming week, Crookston High students are grieving the loss of one of their own. Crookston police say they were called to this block of Summit Avenue around 6 Monday morning for a report of an unconscious girl. Soon after police arrived, officers say the 16-year-old was pronounced dead. Superintendent of Crookston Schools Jeremy Olson says they gathered the student body by grade level this morning to break the tragic news. Olson says they are providing grief counseling and support for both students and families while they grieve the loss of their peer. The teen's death still leaves more questions than answers, as police say her death appears to be an isolated incident with no other people believed to be involved. In Crookston, JC Dodd, Valley News Live.
And police in Crookston say that investigation is ongoing. They also say the teen's body has been sent to Grand Forks for an autopsy. An autopsy is expected tomorrow as crime scene tape surrounds the family home of a Florida man whose fiance's body was discovered in Wyoming yesterday. 23-year-old Brian Laundrie is a person of interest in Gabby Pepetto's death. Laundrie is now missing, so police and the FBI are talking to his parents, who have said they had not seen their son since Tuesday.
Do you think they're telling the truth?
I think at this point, anything's on the table.
More than 50 law enforcement officials scoured the 24,000-acre preserve. Police say Laundrie was alone when he returned to his parents' home September 1st, adding that Brian has some explaining to do. The Secretary of Homeland Security was in South Texas today, where the United States has launched a mass expulsion of mostly Haitian migrants. Facing extreme heat and food shortages, these migrants crossed the Rio Grande River between Mexico and the United States today to get supplies. At one point, around 12,000 migrants set up camp near the border crossing in Del Rio, Texas, most of them from Haiti. Many of the people fled from that country after the 2010 earthquake, then settled in Central and South America before making their way north. Just yesterday, more than 300 Haitians, including families, were flown back.
We have reiterated that our borders are not open and people should not make the dangerous journey.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott asked the Biden administration for an emergency declaration as the result of the situation at the border. Meanwhile, the Department of Homeland Security says it's planning more flights this week. The U.S. has extended its non-essential ground travel restrictions with Canada and Mexico through October 21st. The policies don't apply to some, including people who travel for education or medical reasons. Cross-border trade and air travel between the countries are also being allowed. Meanwhile, visitor restrictions are back in place at all Essentia hospitals because of increased transmission of COVID-19. Essentia tells us that 2 adult visitors will be allowed per patient per day. The hospital also says patients with COVID-19 are not allowed visitors, but there are also many exceptions depending on the situation. A person who's considered to be essential to the care of the safety of the patient will also be allowed visitation. General visitation hours are from 9 in the morning to 6 p.m. Pfizer announced today its COVID vaccine is safe and effective for children aged 5 to 11. It comes as the pediatric COVID cases are on the rise with kids back in school and as the White House announced new COVID travel regulations. Alice Barr has the very latest.
Children ages 5 to 11 are one step closer to shots in arms today after Pfizer announced a trial of more than 2,000 kids found that its COVID vaccine is safe and effective for that age group at a reduced dose. Pfizer now plans to submit to the FDA for emergency use authorization.
We're hopeful and expectant that the FDA will approve the vaccine based on the data we have.
It comes as children are back in school and pediatric COVID cases are on the rise, up 240% in the U.S. since July.
We've seen kids of all ages who have been hospitalized with COVID-19. So this vaccine is going to be very good.
Also today, the Biden administration announcing fully vaccinated foreign travelers from dozens of countries will be allowed to visit the U.S. for the first time since the pandemic took hold.
In early November, we'll be putting in place strict protocols.
The White House missed a deadline today for when administration officials had previously said vaccine booster shots for most Americans should start rolling out. The FDA has not signed off. Instead, an advisory panel voted Friday to recommend third shots only for people 65 and older or those with underlying conditions. Top health officials expect that to change as more data comes in.
I believe that ultimately the real proper regimen will turn out to be the original 2 shots plus a boost.
A waiting game for another weapon in the war against the virus.
Pfizer is also testing its vaccine in children under 5 and expects results from that trial by the end of the year. If you're looking for a place in the area to get the vaccine, use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's on the homepage of our website, or you can open your phone camera and point it to the QR code on your screen. Then tap the link that pops up. Well, the word is Luke Combs was great. The problem was several concert goers took to social media and our whistleblower hotline with concerns on severe traffic delays after the concert in Grand Forks on Friday. As thousands attended the show at the Alara Center, we're told that there was heavy traffic before and after the show. For their part, the Alara Center said that they're positioned with one road into and out of the facility and that their team works closely with Grand Forks Police to make that experience as smooth as possible. You can read the full statement from the Alara Center on our website at valleynewslive.com. Work continues in West Fargo on the North Cheyenne Street Urban Reconstruction Project. Crews have made progress with installing signs and concrete flat work. The project is now in phase 3. So far, the city has completed the water main installation, began work on the storm sewer installation, and prepped fabric and gravel for paving. There's going to be road closures as a result. Cheyenne Street from 2nd Avenue West to Main Avenue West. Traffic will be detoured to 1st and Morrison Street for local access and 9th Street East for through traffic between Main Avenue and 13th Avenue. We've got more info. Just go to our website at valleynewslive.com. Tough day on the stock market as the experts say Wall Street's fears turn to China. The Dow and the broader U.S. stock market fell to close sharply lower as Chinese real estate conglomerate Evergrande's debt crisis made American investors uneasy. It's the worst performance since May for the S&P and the Nasdaq, while the Dow logged its worst day since July. Stocks spent the whole day deep in the red, and the Dow fell more than 970 points at its low point. All right, we have some breaking news for you out of that city commission meeting now in downtown Fargo. The commission has voted to give the Africa restaurant 30 days to find a viable buyer for its liquor license. If that doesn't happen, we're told the restaurant's liquor license will be revoked. Later on Valley News Live at 5, how TikTok followers came to the rescue of someone who has helped so many in need.
And after a hot close to the weekend, rain and thunder made its way through the valley, anywhere from a trace where you see the light blue shades to 3 inches of estimated rainfall, and much of it fell right where the exceptional drought lies. We have drier weather in the forecast. I'll have hour-by-hour details on what you can expect right after this.